From Storm Tracker 6, this is Forecast First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
We're looking outside on our Jackson camera right now, and other than a few puffy clouds, it's beautiful out there. The sky's a deep blue, the sun peeking in between the clouds, and our temperatures are doing all right. We're starting to see them warm up slowly into the upper 50s. Eventually we'll get to the 60s, but it's going to be slow going. Now these clouds are trailing a cold front that brought us that rain yesterday. A few lake effect rain showers right along I-94, but otherwise fairly quiet. We'll track our next chances for rain, which are not going to be much, but we'll still talk about them as 6 News at noon begins.
WMMS is here for you, celebrating 75 years of bringing you the news with 6 News at noon.
Happening today, Michigan lawmakers are set to discuss a new bathroom bill that would require students to use the bathroom that matches their biological sex. It is our top story at noon. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kirk Montgomery. The Student Restroom Privacy Act was passed by a House committee along party lines, with Republicans for and Democrats voting against. It's now on the docket for the whole House. The bill would require schools in Michigan to ensure each student's privacy from individuals of the opposite biological sex in shared spaces like bathrooms and changing areas. Republicans say the bill will protect children from acts of sexual violence and violations of privacy. Opponents say it would cause unnecessary harm to all students, saying it can't be enforced without invading everyone's privacy. Our Delaney Rogers is tracking the vote, and we'll have updates here on 6 News and online at WLNS.com. On the other side of the Capitol, lawmakers are working on other topics that could help protect police and people with mental health issues, as well as abused animals. The Michigan Senate's Civil Rights, Judiciary, and Public Safety Committee is meeting right now. On the docket are Senate Bills 333 and 334. The bills cover police use of force policies and outline new training, including mandatory training for Michigan officers when it comes to people struggling with mental health issues. The committee is also talking about Senate Bills 293 and 294. They deal with animals that are confiscated by authorities and who then need medical care. If passed, the bill would pass along the cost of caring for those animals to their former owners if they're convicted of a crime. Meanwhile, gun violence prevention advocates here in Michigan are calling on all Michiganders to take advantage of laws that might save their own lives and the lives of others. The various groups are coming together in the wake of last week's shooting at the Annunciation Catholic Church in Minneapolis. That shooting there killed 2 children, injured 21 others. That prompted advocates here in Michigan to encourage people to use the Extreme Risk Protection Order, also known as red flag laws, to try and stop shootings before they start.
Extreme risk laws empower community members to act on these signs. In Michigan, it's designed to help family, healthcare workers, and/or law enforcement to keep a person at risk of harming themselves or others from having access to a gun until their crisis passes.
Advocates say there also needs to be more support for violence prevention efforts and for mental health. New at noon, a magnet fisher says they recovered an artillery round from the Red Cedar River. Take a look at this. This long metal cylinder was pulled out of the water, attached to a powerful magnet. In a video posted to social media, the man says he found a bomb and calls police. It appears to be an artillery round that has been in the water for an extended period of time based on the weathering and rust. 6 News has reached out to Lansing Police for further information, and we've yet to hear back. The Michigan State University Board of Trustees holding a unique meeting today. Instead of gathering to vote, they're getting together to listen. Now, this afternoon's meeting is taking place instead of their regular business meeting. The meeting is not open to the public or to the press. The people who will attend were invited. Among other issues, the university is facing budget cuts, a total of 9% over 2 years, which has resulted in layoffs. So stay tuned, and we'll have much more in today's meeting for you tonight on 6 News at 6. The trustees meeting isn't the only gathering taking place on campus. The MSU Museum is kicking off a new exhibit today with an opening reception. The exhibit is called Physical Spells, the Word in the Atom. Officials say it will allow people to explore connections between art and science. It was put together by an MSU artist in residence after she spent 3 months with the university's faculty for the rare isotope beams. The exhibit runs through early December. And a new Memory Cafe is set to open its doors for the first time today, offering support and resources for those dealing with memory loss and their loved ones. The first gathering is taking place this afternoon from 1 to 3 at the Hannah Community Center in East Lansing. It comes from a partnership between AARP Michigan and the Greater Lansing Care Foundations. They say this program is about restoring connection, joy, and understanding, and making sure that no one feels alone. For more details on the Memory Cafe, you can go to our website, WLNS.com. Health and Human Services Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is testifying on Capitol Hill for the first time since that massive shakeup at the Centers for Disease Control. It comes as a large number of both current and former public health officials call for his resignation. CBS correspondent Natalie Brand is here for you now with the latest from Washington.
Good morning. Good morning. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. faced lawmakers amid growing concerns over changes he's made to the nation's top public health agency.
These changes were absolutely necessary adjustments to restore the agency to its role as the world's gold standard public health agency.
The previously scheduled Senate Finance Committee hearing comes a week after the firing of CDC Director Susan Montaraz and the resignations of several high-profile agency officials.
We are the sickest country in the world. That's why we have to fire people at CDC.
On behalf of parents and schools and teachers all over the United States of America who deserve so much better than your leadership. That's what this conversation is about, Mr. Chairman.
Senator, they deserve the truth, and that's what we're going to give them for the first time.
The Trump administration has defended Kennedy, even as public health experts sound the alarm over new guidelines restricting eligibility for COVID vaccines and his overhaul of a key vaccine advisory panel.
On Wednesday, a letter from 1,000 current and former HHS staffers called for Secretary Kennedy to step down, arguing his actions are compromising public health. At a rally this morning, Democratic lawmakers, who are also doctors, echoed those concerns.
This is not about Democrats or Republicans. It's about the American healthcare system.
Secretary Kennedy has long argued the CDC is broken and needs to return its focus to infectious disease, invest in innovation, and rebuild trust. Natalie Brand, CBS News, the White House.
And be sure to stay with 6 News and CBS for comprehensive coverage of Secretary Kennedy's testimony today. We'll continue our coverage on 6 News at 5, as well as the CBS Evening News at 6:30. We'll also track the hearing online at WLNS.com and on the 6 News app. Well, there's good news and bad news. If you purchased a ticket for last night's billion-dollar Powerball jackpot, the bad news, you didn't win. The good news, no one else won either. Although for the second time this week, a ticket worth $1 million or more was sold here in Michigan. And that means you still have a chance to win Saturday's drawing, which has an estimated jackpot of $1.7 billion. It's not a big chance. The odds of winning, 1 in 292 million. But a single winner could take the billion-dollar jackpot spread out over 30 years or a one-time lump sum of $770 million. Saturday's jackpot is now the 3rd largest in American history, and it's just shy of the number 2 spot. So if you play, good luck.
From Storm Tracker 6, this is Weather First, sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense.
Out on our quad cams, we're seeing some nice conditions, from mostly sunny skies in Lansing to partly cloudy ones down in Hillsdale. It's still allowing sunshine in, and that's helping these temperatures. They're in the upper 50s now, but there's still ways to go following that cold front that came through yesterday. It brought in plenty of rain, many spots picking up over ½ an inch of rain. That's that baseline for the lighter blue shade. And then you have a purple swath that was a radar estimated 1.5 inches. It was good to finally get some rain after a very dry August. Now we're back to some drier conditions as well. A little band of lake effect rain setting up west of Kalamazoo, not making it to our area just yet, though we will have some lake effect clouds mixing in from time to time, it looks like. Clearer skies over on the other side of the lake, filling in slightly for the afternoon, and all that's with temperatures that are hovering in the 50s. I'm kind of standing in the way, but look at where the cold front stalled. It's 73 in Binghamton, but over towards Erie it's 59. So we're doing a little bit cooler over here on our side of the front, and that's keeping our temperatures back in the mid-60s. Now what we're seeing going into the afternoon is that mix of some sun and some clouds, and really we're going to keep that going into tomorrow too. Still with that chance for an isolated lake effect rain shower though. Our lake water temperatures are still in those upper 60s to low 70s. So when you have cooler air moving on top of it, it just tends to pick up that moisture, push it inland, and just like lake effect snow, it ends up dropping precipitation over land. So don't be surprised if you see a few showers tomorrow or winds up towards 20 to 30 miles per hour. It's going to be breezy, and that's going to keep bringing in some additional cloud cover. Letting this go until tomorrow's forecast. You see, by around 7 a.m., there's still a chance for some isolated rain showers, but it doesn't do a whole lot. And then that continues to move off towards the east with a few pop-up sprinkles throughout the day. Other than that, though, I think the main story is going to be that wind. Today, gusts around 15 to 25 miles an hour possible, but tomorrow we're talking 30 to 40 miles per hour. It's going to be a windy end to the week. Sorry to the high school kickers, you might not get as much action here this week, but this is all going to be bringing in that cooler air mass. And yes, it's from Canada, and yes, there's some smoke. It looks like that wildfire smoke still moving in the upper levels, so by the time we get to sunrise on Friday, right tomorrow, we're looking at those orangey red skies. This is going to clear out quickly just as it has moved in because we're getting additional cool air to move through. Now our temperatures are going to be dropping down. Again, it looks like in the overnight hours especially, and that's a result of that cool air mass. 6-day forecast shows you what's going on here. We're going to have highs that stay in the 60s from now until we get to Monday. Then we get to Tuesday and the temperature does start to warm up, seeing the mid 70s. And dry. Starting up Saturday, it's going to be fairly dry, aside from that stray lake effect shower. They're very hard to pin down. Northwest flow and lake effect rain, two of my least favorite things in meteorology, and we have the chance for both this weekend.
Well, right now, at least the sunshine is helping to, you know, take a little bit of the chill out of the air.
Yeah, it does feel nice. It feels like fall.
Yeah, it does. Oh, yeah.
Even with all that rain, the humidity is just like nice and low.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Katie. All right.